Part 52. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 515. A loud noise was heard, and the gates of the black magic stars above the entire sealed demon land trembled and slowly closed. In the past year or so, these black magic star gates have been pouring a large amount of the black magic star's original power into the sealed demon land every moment. At this moment, as a large number of black magic star gates closed, there was no longer any black magic star's original power pouring into the sealed demon land. However, as more than a year passed, the sealed demon land, which was originally illuminated by a round of sun, has now become pitch black. If a mortal here does not light a torch, he can't see anything. And he will feel that the atmosphere here is cold, as if he stays for a long time, he will undergo bad changes. If a strong man stands above the sealed demon land and looks around, he will find that there is no human being in the entire sealed demon land. The inside of all living beings is filled with a breath of destruction. It's as if these lives have all been transformed into demons. At the same time, this is one of the reasons why the current demon sealing land under the light pillar god is called the demon realm. In the center of the demon realm, in a huge palace, there are seats. 10 of the seats are on both sides. One seat is located at the top. The seat at the top is the seat of the Lord of the Dark Demon. Those 10 seats are the seats of the 10 half-step pillar gods under his command. More than a year has passed, and the 10 half-step pillar gods under the seat of the Lord of the Dark Demon, Jiatuo Snake Mother, the Lord of the Killing God Temple, the Lord of the Trap God Temple, the God of Heaven, etc., have all recovered their original cultivation. Just when all the gates of the Dark Demon Star in the demon realm were closed, the Lord of the Dark Demon Star sat in his seat, half raising his head, and his deep eyes seemed to see through the hall, seeing the closed gates of the Dark Demon Star outside, and the scenes behind those gates. He even saw the current appearance of the continent of gods. After a while, the Lord of the Dark Devil pressed the armrest of the chair, slowly lowered his head, and cast his eyes on the 10 generals under his command. Give the order, start immediately, I want to take over the world of gods. Yes. The 10 people agreed and slowly left the hall. Then they each turned into a beam of light and returned to their bases in the demon world. They knew this day would come long before the door of the Dark Devil Star was closed, so they were ready long ago. After all his men left, the Lord of the Dark Devil Star looked up at the sky through the hall again, and began to practice the skills, and began to force out a special force in his body. This special force was transformed from the light of the gods that had entered his body along with a large amount of the original power of the Dark Devil Star. In order to restore his strength, he had to refine the original power of the Dark Devil Star, so he had to absorb a large amount of the light of the gods into his body. He knew this was a conspiracy of the gods. But this conspiracy is also an open conspiracy. This time, he sent out all 10 of his generals, but he didn't do it himself, just to let his men buy him time to force out this special power in his body as soon as possible. He could vaguely feel that the purpose of this special power was to transform him into a special puppet. At the same time, this power would become more and more entangled with him as he mobilized the power in his body to fight. Last time, the Lord said that as long as we leave the bodies of the ancient evil creatures we killed here, those 14th level ancient evil creatures will regard this place as their hiding place. Now it seems that it is as the Lord expected. In front of the Evil God Mountain, or the original Xuanhuan mountain range, Zhu Daipen, Li Haishui, and a group of people quietly rushed here and surrounded this place. However, this time, there are not only Zhu Daipen, Li Haishui, Ho Sanmengtian, Little White Dragon, Doom Black Tiger, and 2 Haitian divine birds, but also 4 pairs of subordinates and spiritual pets who can exert combat power comparable to the 14th level. Huang Lin, Wang Chao, Zhen Qinzan, and the other 3 came with them. Not long ago, Huang Lin and the others who were cultivating under the Origin Mother Tree had all come out of retreat. As a matter of course, the cultivation of Huanglin, Wangchao, Zhenkinzan, and the other three had all reached the 14th level. Chen Ronghuo had long wanted to take down the three 14th level ancient evil creatures, such as the Corpse King. That was why he asked Zhu Deipen and the others to leave the bodies of the ancient evil creatures they killed in the last time. It was only until today that all his men came out of retreat, and at the same time, the breath of the law of catastrophe required for his cultivation was not enough, that he had the confidence and was ready to take down the Corpse King and the other 14th level ancient evil creatures in one fell swoop. It's almost there. In the river crab world, Chen Ronghuo held the fat cat and stroked the fat cat with his left hand again and again. It seemed that he had not done this for too long, and he wanted to stroke the fat cat enough at once. The fat cat squinted his eyes comfortably, breathing heavily, and his beard was lifted. In the corner of the courtyard wall not far away, a strange river crab the size of a table, with one black and one white claw, was chewing a stone seriously. This scene was like returning to the scene when Chen Ronghuo had just arrived in this world. But today, many things are different. Fat Cat is still the same Fat Cat, still so greedy, and still wants him to stroke a few times every day, but now Fat Cat's cultivation has reached the 14th level. The big river crab that was chewing stones as snacks in the corner not far away also had the cultivation of the 14th level. It shook its body from time to time, as if it felt a little uncomfortable with shrinking its body so small. As for Chen Ronghuo himself, although his cultivation has not reached the 14th level, he is really just a little bit away. There is no need for more ancient evil creatures of the 14th level, the Corpse King, the Ghost Ancestor, and the Bone Saint. As long as his subordinates help him kill one this time, he estimates that he can break through to the 14th level through the breath of the law of calamity obtained from it. Once he breaks through to the 14th level, with the powerful foundation he has accumulated, it is very likely that he will have the power to compete with the Pillar God level strongmen. It is not impossible to even become the first person in the world of gods in one fell swoop. Chen Ronghuo clenched his fist lightly, and a hint of expectation appeared on his face. The day to go home is getting closer and closer. Evil God Mountain. After most of Chen Ronghuo's forces arrived there, Zhenkinzan immediately walked out, holding the formation plate, and began to deduce the formation that the Corpse King and others had set up not long ago with the help of the powerful auras of corpses and ghosts here. How is it, Master Zhen? Zhu Deipen asked impatiently. It can be broken. Zhenkinzan nodded lightly, and then waved his hand, and immediately countless black and white beads shot out from his hand and scattered towards the huge mountains in the distance. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 516. Sure enough. As soon as Zhenkinzan and others took action, the Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, who were practicing in seclusion in the Evil God Mountain range, noticed the movement. They walked out of their caves with gloomy faces and looked at the people outside the Evil God Mountain with cold eyes. The corpses of the 13th level strongmen are extremely precious. When Zhu Deipen and others killed dozens of ancient evil creatures but did not take their corpses away, the Corpse King and others already knew Chen Ronghuo's plan. Although they could also take those corpses away and take them to other places, those ancient evil creatures died here, and there was still the dead air of those ancient evil creatures when they died in battle. Those corpses can only play the greatest role here. So in the end, they chose to stay here. Don't worry, we have used the large amount of dead air left here to set up the formation. As long as we don't walk out of the formation, they will never be able to take this place. Ghost Ancestor sneered. They lived for a very long time, especially when they were trapped on the Evil God Mountain for countless years and could not practice, so they all focused on studying the formation. In the art of formation, they can all be regarded as masters of formation. In addition, their cultivation level is as high as the 14th level. Once the formation is opened and they are controlled by themselves, few people can break it. The Corpse King and the Bone Saint nodded slightly. However, the Corpse King still solemnly warned, "But we can't be careless. Among the people who came from the mysterious force this time, the 4 pairs of 8 people who can exert the same strength as us have all come. The remaining 3 people have not been seen before, but it seems that the strength of these 3 people will not be low." While the Corpse King and the others were discussing, Zhenkinzan, who was dressed in white and had white hair, stood in front of the evil god mountain with the formation disc in his hand. There were countless flashes of light in his eyes every moment, as if he was quickly deducing something. Suddenly, he waved his sleeves, and countless black and white beads flew out from the array in his hand, flying towards the evil god mountain in the distance. Woo woo woo. As soon as the 2 colored beads flew into the evil god mountain, the evil god mountain vibrated, and a large piece of black smoke rose up, covering the whole evil god mountain, and in this large piece of smoke, bursts of ghosts and wolves howling sounded. From a distance, the large piece of black fog seemed to be a terrifying evil ghost living there, waiting for everyone to pass by, so that everyone could be swallowed into its stomach. At the same time, vaguely, in the layers of black fog, you can see a group of hideous zombies with different appearances, with golden and silver skulls on their bodies, and huge, but cold and erratic evil ghosts. These terrifying beings, as soon as they appeared from the black fog, set their eyes on Zhenkinzan. But Zhenkinzan's expression did not change at all when he saw this. These things in front of him were all powerful beings summoned by the Corpse Kings and their men using the corpses of the ancient evil creatures that died here last time. These powerful beings were naturally extremely terrifying to others, but they were nothing to Zhenkinzan, whose cultivation had already reached the 14th level. He held the true plate of the formation with one hand and pinched the seal with the other hand. He ignored these things. His 5 fingers were swinging as if he was playing the piano, with a sense of elegance and grace. As his fingers swung, the large number of black and white beads that had just flown out, under his control, suddenly rose or fell, sank, or floated, or wandered around, seemingly without any rules. But in just a moment, the countless black and white beads that Zhenkinzan shot out vibrated with a buzzing sound, connected with each other, and formed a huge and boundless formation that covered the entire evil god mountain range. The energy emitted by this formation is black and white, like a huge millstone of destruction, falling from the sky, slowly rotating, suppressing the ghost-crying god formation set up by Corpse King and several 14th-level strongmen on the evil god mountain. Not good. Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, who were originally confident in the formation they had set up, immediately changed their faces after seeing the huge black and white millstones suppressing from the sky, and even their voices and heartbeats became different from the past. An expert knows whether there is a chance or not as soon as he makes a move. After Zhenkinzan made a move, they immediately knew that Zhenkinzan, who came with Zhu Deipen and others this time, had reached the 14th level like them. More importantly, Zhenkinzan was actually a formation master who specialized in the first formation. A formation master who specialized in the first formation is completely different from an ordinary formation master. A formation master like Zhenkinzan who has a special formation talent can set up a large formation with a thought. Other practitioners can only use various materials to slowly arrange the formation. In addition, specialized formation masters react more quickly, and are much faster than ordinary formation masters in both arranging and breaking formations. That is why the faces of the Corpse King and his companions changed drastically after they saw Zhenkinzan show his strength. The formation they had laid out after a long time was not bad, but compared with Zhenkinzan, it was nothing. Boom! The black and white world-destroying millstones fell from the sky, and with a boom, they landed on the formations laid out by the Corpse King and his companions on the evil god mountain. As soon as the two approached, the formation on the evil god mountain became extremely unstable in the huge earthquake, and a large amount of black air formed by countless high-level dead air was faintly sucked into the world-destroying millstone. Boom boom boom. Seeing that the formation they had set up was not working, The three people, Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, along with the zombies, skeletons, and evil ghosts they had refined and controlled, immediately took action and launched countless attacks, bombarding the world-destroying millstone that Zhenkinzan had condensed with the formation. Under the heavy attack, the world-destroying millstone trembled suddenly. However, as it trembled, it actually flashed with light, reflecting back a small half of the attack that had just hit it. This small half bombarded the formation below, immediately accelerating the speed of the formation's destruction. Then, in just a few breaths, the huge formation that covered the entire Evil God Mountain was completely destroyed. At this moment, the Corpse King and others were immediately exposed. However, after Zhenkinzan's formation condensed the world-destroying millstone, after enduring too many attacks, it also exploded with a bang. It's the true plate of the Array Deo. This person is actually the successor of the Array Ancestor. The Corpse King and the others looked at Zhenkinzan, with a hint of fear. The Array Ancestor was a strong man of the same level as them, but he had fallen many years ago. They never thought that they would actually meet the successor of the Array Ancestor here this time. And this successor of the Array Ancestor had unexpectedly grown to the level of the original Array Ancestor. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 517. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. As soon as the world-destroying millstone was broken, black and white beads immediately shot out, turning into streams of light and flying in all directions of the Evil God Mountain. Boom. As these beads fell and connected with each other, countless gray mists suddenly appeared in all directions of the Evil God Mountain, wrapping the entire Evil God Mountain. The occurrence of the scene made the three Corpse Kings look extremely ugly. They had obviously realized that this time Zhenkinzan and others came, determined to capture the three of them. After the three Corpse Kings glanced at Zhenkinzan, they then glanced at Cao Cao and Huang Lin. At this moment, because the formation was shattered, they also sensed the slightest threat from Wang Chao and Huang Lin. This made their hearts skip a beat, and a vague idea emerged that they couldn't believe. Could these two be 14th level powerhouses like Zhenkinzan? The expressions on the faces of the three Corpse Kings were extremely ugly. A formation of 1003, plus 4 pairs of practitioners who could exert their own strength, already made them feel difficult to deal with. If 2 more 14th level powerhouses come. Cannot. It must be impossible. The three Corpse Kings immediately put aside their bad thoughts. Who are you? However, although the bad thoughts were gone, the Corpse King was extremely unwilling. They had been entangled with this strange force several times, and in the end they didn't even know its true identity, which really made them feel sad and angry. They are ancient evil beings. In the ancient times, they had caused countless disasters, and this time they broke out of the seal and made up their minds to regain the prestige of the ancient times. But now, they have become prey. Kill your people. As soon as the Corpse King finished speaking, Zhu Deipen roared, joined forces with Li Haishui, and punched him. The terrifying punch power was mixed with the power of the 2 laws of immortality and immortality, entangled with each other, turned into the head of a dragon, and attacked fiercely, so that the Corpse King had to punch him in the same way and come over. Boo-hoo-hoo. But at this moment, the dynasty in the distance suddenly took out a bow and arrow, bent the bow and fired. When the bloody arrows were shot out, they almost formed a long bloody river. One end of the river is the dynasty, and the other end is the Corpse King. 14th level again. The hearts of the three Corpse Kings immediately sank. At the same time, they also discovered that another person who had been standing not far from Zhenkinzan and Chao dynasty suddenly disappeared. After this person disappeared, even they had trouble catching his traces for a while. Could it be The thoughts that had been eliminated by the three of them resurfaced in their hearts again, and their hearts skipped a beat. A great feeling of terror emerged and spread through the bodies of the three of them, until it spread to their hands and feet, and to their entire torso. As 14th level powerhouses, their minds were naturally extremely firm, but at this moment, their state of mind, which they had practiced for many years, suddenly became a little unstable. Clang! The two divine birds of the sea and sky merged into a divine bird with 4 wings, 4 claws and 2 heads, creating countless space blades and sweeping towards the three of them. Ho San and Meng Tian, Xiao Beilong, and Doom Black Tiger also began to use their own methods. In an instant, the 3 corpse kings were in crisis. They are powerful, each one is a 14th level powerhouse, but under the siege with a combat power equivalent to 7 14th level powerhouses, they are still quickly stretched. These 2 immortal guards combined have the strength of the 14th level, and the strength of the immortal demon lord is definitely not weak, but the powerful people in the world of gods who were paying attention to this battle felt that their brains were not enough. Until now, the undead demon lord they speculated has not appeared. Could it be that the strong men who surrounded and killed the 3 corpse kings this time were not the full strength of that mysterious force? In an alien space in the central continent, Gong Yangtian watched this battle from afar. He used to feel that his strength was very strong, but now, with the changes in the world of gods, he really felt that his strength was nothing. This force is so good at hiding its strength. Gong Yangtian slowly shook his head. Hide your strength. Suddenly, Gong Yangtian's heart moved, and he once again thought of Chen Ronghuo, who in his impression was also good at hiding his strength. No way, it absolutely can't be him. Boom. Suddenly, just as the battle at the Evil God Mountain was coming to an end, and all 3 of the corpse kings were seriously injured and were about to lose their hold, with a loud noise, 10 huge black smoke pillars suddenly appeared on the central continent. And in the black smoke column, there was a faint meaning of endless destruction. It's a place where demons are sealed. At this moment, countless people's pupils tightened. A fierce battle between 14th level warriors was rare, but as the 10 black smoke pillars soaring into the sky appeared, many powerful warriors in the world of gods turned their attention to the 10 black pillars of light. There are 10 passages between the world of gods and the land of demons. However, the 10 passages opened this time are not the original 10. Rather, it is a new 2-realm passage opened by each of the 10 half-step god-level experts under the Lord of Darkness. The distance between these 10 new passages between the 2 realms is very close. As soon as Pu appeared, a terrifying force was conveyed from them. Within a moment, a large number of demonic beings emerged from the 10 newly opened passages between the 2 realms. Under the leadership of a powerful man, these beings from the demon world flew in all directions as soon as they arrived in the world of gods. It seems that he wants to take over the entire world of gods in the shortest possible time. However, when a large number of demonic beings were raging towards the world of gods like a tide, the 10 half-step pillar gods including the Jiatuo Snake Mother, the master of the Killing Temple, all turned their attention to the Evil God Mountain at this moment. They all looked surprised. They didn't expect that as soon as they came out, they would encounter a battle with a strong man of the same level as them. And the number of strong men participating in this battle was beyond their expectations. It's you. Suddenly, Jiatuo Snake Mother's pupils shrank and she fixed her gaze on Huang Lin, who was covered in black scales and holding a dagger in his hand. She faintly felt a trace of her own aura on Huang Lin. In an instant, she guessed that the truncated tail she lost must have been done by Huang Lin. Sister, do you know this person? The master of the Temple of Killing glanced at Huang Lin, with a hint of surprise on his face, and sent a message to Jiatuo Snake Mother. I don't know you. Jiatuo Snake Mother sneered, but I want to kill him. The Devil World. In the world of river crabs, when Chenrong, Huo Jiatuo, Snake Mother and others came out of the demon world, their thoughts changed. He touched the fat cat in his arms, and at the same time glanced at the big river crabs and colorful spiritual butterflies not far away and said, "You guys should also bring some people to help." Meow. The fat cat meowed, with a hint of excitement in his eyes. The fat cat is finally going to show off his power. "Can you help me?" At this time, a ghost-like voice suddenly reached Chen Ronghuo's ears. Chen Ronghuo turned around and saw that the person speaking was Mo Licking, who was wearing a red dress. She stood not far away and smiled softly, charming all living beings. "If it's possible, I'd definitely like it." Chen Ronghuo smiled slightly and glanced at Chang Sun Zhengzin on the other side. Chang Sun Zhengzin, who was wearing a coarse cloth, had a calm expression. Even when Mo Licking spoke, he still just took the broom in his hand and swept the yard. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 518. The Land of Sealed Demons. When Jiatuo Snake Mother and others led a large number of demon world creatures through the two-world channel and came to the world of gods, many powerful people in the world of gods cast their eyes on them. The 14th level powerful people, the 10-horned dragon, the king of the 5 elements, the primordial saint lord, the lord of the heavenly demon, and other ancient powerful people, all showed hesitation, not knowing whether to take action. Before, Jiatuo Snake Mother and others' cultivation had not recovered, and they dared to stop the lord of the black demon from breaking the seal. But as Jiatuo Snake Mother and others' cultivation recovered to the half-step pillar god realm, they already knew that they had no hope of competing with the lord of the black demon. It was only when Zhenkinzan, Zhu Deipen, and others suddenly appeared and cut down a large number of ancient evil creatures released by the gods like cutting melons and vegetables that their minds moved again, wondering whether they could use the power of Zhenkinzan and others to compete with the lord of the black demon. "Shijiao, what do you think?" the king of the 5 elements asked the 10-horned dragon through voice transmission. The 10-horned dragon showed hesitation. Logically, they should join forces with Zhenkinzan and others to deal with the people of the Black Demon Star. But the origins of Zhenkinzan and others are too mysterious, and they are hidden too deeply. No one knows who is behind Zhenkinzan and others, and what their purpose is. Although from beginning to end, Zhenkinzan and others' targets were the ancient evil creatures that broke the seal not long ago, they never attacked them. Swish, swish, swish. After deciding to take action, the 10 half-step pillar gods under the seat of the Lord of the Black Demon, such as Jiatuo Snake Mother, immediately broke through the space and quickly came to the evil god mountain to surround Zhenkinzan and others. Are these the invaders from the Black Demon Star? Seeing Jiatuo Snake Mother and others rushing over, the 3 corpse kings, who were seriously injured and in danger of life, finally breathed a sigh of relief. They were sealed for too long. When they were sealed, the Lord of the Black Demon had not invaded the world of gods, so they did not know Jiatuo Snake Mother and others. But even if they didn't have to guess, they knew that this time, the reason why the Jiatuo Snake Mother and others came here was 99% to deal with Zhenkinzan and others, not them. At least for the time being, the Jiatuo Snake Mother and others should not touch them. And the enemy of the enemy is a friend. Hiss. Just as the 3 corpse kings were thinking this, the Jiatuo Snake Mother rushed over quickly, and a huge earth yellow snake suddenly appeared behind her. This giant snake had no tail, but it opened its bloody mouth and aimed at Xuanhuan, who kept flashing in the battlefield and stabbing the 3 corpse kings. At the same time, the white jade-like hand of the Jiatuo Snake Mother also stretched out, shaking and pinching a mysterious seal, and then it seemed to turn into the shape of a snake's mouth, and faintly made a snake sound, biting in the direction of Xuanhuan. In the battlefield, Xuanhuan, who had just raised the dagger holding the Mongadu Black Emperor snake and stabbed the corpse king, suddenly shuddered. He stopped and looked back at the Jiatuo Snake Mother. The 2 people's eyes collided in the void. The killing intent of the Jiatuo Snake Mother surged wildly, and Xuanhuan paused for a moment, then slashed the back of the Corpse King with a dagger, and cut a huge hole in the Corpse King's body. Only then did he turn around completely and confronted the Gatuo Snake Mother. A huge illusory snake mouth suddenly appeared in front of Xuanhuan and swallowed him. Xuanhuan's body shook, bringing up a large black shadow, wrapping the snake mouth inside and melting away. Then he moved his body again, and disappeared into the void, and his shadow disappeared. "Come out." The Gatuo Snake Mother stopped in the void and did not continue to attack, but the four powerful masters beside him, the Lord of the Killing God Temple, the Lord of the Trapping God Temple, the Lord of the Punishing God Temple, and the Lord of the Absolute God Temple, took out a blood-colored longsword with different auras at the same time after seeing Xuanhuan disappear. 4 blood-colored longswords were raised, and in a moment of shock, they resonated and shot out thousands of blood-colored sword chi, forming a sword chi formation, and slashed downwards. In an instant, Zhen Qinzan, Wang Chao, Xuanhuan, and other subordinates of Chen Ronghuo were all enveloped in the endless sword chi formation. However, the 3 Corpse Kings were deliberately avoided by the sword chi. Boom! Seeing the endless sword chi coming, Zhen Qinzan on the Evil God Mountain turned his wrist, and the formation true disc immediately shot out several rays of light, and then the black and white fog that spread throughout the Evil God Mountain boiled violently, forming a huge black and white millstone again. The 2-color millstone blocked Wang Chao, Xuanhuan, and others below, soared into the sky, and with a bang, it collided with the blood-colored sword chi in the sky. In an instant, the roar continued. Although Zhen Qinzan was very good at the formation, the 4 lords of the Slaughter God Temple, with their combined strength and the 4 blood swords of the half-step pillar god level artifacts in their hands, set up a stunning sword formation that was even better. Amid the surging sword energy, the black and white millstones were cut open layer by layer, becoming thinner at a speed visible to the naked eye. Kill. At the same time, the god of heaven bone, the god of chaos soul, the god of demon blood, the lord of plague god, the lord of poison god, and the 6 people, Gatuo Snake Mother, also attacked the 2-color millstones at the same time, as if they wanted to break them with one blow. Boom! Zhen Qinzan frowned and had to take the initiative to explode the 2-color millstones, using the huge shock force generated by their self-explosion to block the attacks of Gatuo Snake Mother and others. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Then, Zhen Qinzan used his mind to pull back the array beads that formed the previous large formation. At the same time, Wang Chao, Xuanhuan and others also flashed and gathered beside Zhen Qinzan. Zhen Qinzan shook his hand again, and the array beads he had just taken back, after fusion and transformation, turned into 10 beads, and fell into the hands of Wang Chao and others. Because everyone had practiced together under the Origin Mother Tree, they cooperated with each other very well. As soon as the array beads were in hand, Xuanhuan, Wang Chao and others flashed their bodies one after another, each guarding a position, and cooperated with Zhen Qinzan. With a bang, they propped up a dazzling white light defense array. Boom boom boom. Gatuo Snake Mother and others saw that Zhen Qinzan had set up another array in the blink of an eye, and directly launched their strongest attack and began to bombard the white light array below. At the same time, the 3 Corpse Kings who finally escaped did not join the battlefield, but flashed their bodies and flew away with a thought, intending to stay away from this vortex. They were scared. They all knew that the reason why Gatuo Snake Mother and others deliberately avoided them when they took action just now was not because they did not want to kill them, but because they were worried that once they took action against them, they would unite with Chen Ronghuo's people. Therefore, they all knew that as long as all of Chen Ronghuo's men were captured by Gatuo Snake Mother and others, these strong men from the Black Demon Star would not let them go. So they fled without any hesitation. When Gatuo Snake Mother and others saw the 3 seriously injured Corpse Kings escaping, cold light flashed in their eyes, but after thinking about it, they did not chase them after all. Compared with the 3 Corpse Kings, Zhen Qinzan and others who were arranged in the formation below were their biggest enemies. Let's do it. On a mountain far away from the central continent, the 10-horned dragon, who was watching this battle from afar, saw Zhenkinzan and others trapped, and immediately moved his mind and sent a message to the king of the five elements and others. He finally decided to join forces with Zhenkinzan and the group of mysterious forces to fight against the people of the Black Demon Star such as Jiatuo Snake Mother. After he finished speaking, the king of the five elements, the Holy Lord of Teishu, and the Lord of the Heavenly Demon immediately flew to the battlefield with him from different directions. Meow. But at this moment, on the edge of the Evil God Mountain, in the direction where the three corpse kings were fleeing, a cat's cry suddenly sounded. Today is only one chapter describing large-scale battles is really my weakness. I will speed up. The Earth chapter should be opened in about 2 or 3 days. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 519. Cat Meow. Where did the cat meow come from? The Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and the Bone Saint, who wanted to leave the battlefield, heard the cat meow from afar, and their faces all changed. This cat meow was not special. But how could a cat meow suddenly sound on such a battlefield be simple? Just as they all focused their attention, the sky darkened, and then they saw a huge river crab crashing through the void. At the same time, on the back of the giant crab, they also saw an orange fat cat, a 7-color sacred tree, a 7-color butterfly hovering above the sacred tree, and a beautiful woman with an illusory figure, wearing a red dress, standing under the tree. They didn't recognize this special group at all. But when this group flew quickly, their bodies stiffened slightly and felt a huge pressure. Could it be that they were all strong people of the same level as us? A thought emerged from the minds of the Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, and then it could never be erased. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Just then, the colorful butterfly saw the battle in the distance, and immediately vibrated its wings, waving a large amount of colorful spiritual light towards Zhenkinzan and others in the distance. The colorful color spread, fell on the protective shield of the formation set up by Zhenkinzan, penetrated through, and then fell on Zhenkinzan and others. In an instant, they all felt their spirits shaken. Even all the power in their bodies became more transparent than before, and the power that could be exerted with every move was greater than before. The colorful butterfly continued to vibrate its wings, and some of the colorful light turned into fairies with butterfly wings in the process of waving. Those fairies flew in the void, faintly condensed into a large formation, and merged with the formation set up by Zhenkinzan, making it even more indestructible. In an instant, with the movement of the colorful butterfly, Jiatuo Snake Mother and others, the three Corpse Kings, and other powerful people in the world of gods all looked at it and Fat Cat. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this time, the colorful sacred tree rooted on the back of the big river crab also whipped out its branches along with the movement of the colorful spirit butterfly. When its branches were pulled out, they immediately extended forward as if there was no end, but its target was not the Gatuo Snake Mother and others, but the three Corpse Kings. Thousands of crystal branches, covered with colorful spiritual light, waved out together, illuminating the void beautifully, like a fairyland. Those branches were like whips, like ropes, or whipping, or binding, and in the blink of an eye they were in front of the three Corpse Kings. The faces of the three Corpse Kings changed drastically, and they tried to attack those branches, but those crystal colorful branches swung like waves, and instantly dissolved their attacks. Swoosh! Whoosh! Whoosh! As a last resort, the three could only find a direction each to try to escape from here. The 7-colored divine tree itself has no intelligence, and is only at the 13th level, but when it cooperates with the 7-colored spirit butterfly, it is comparable to a 14th level warrior. In addition, the three Corpse Kings were all seriously injured, and they did not dare to confront the 7-colored divine tree head-on. Swish, swish, swish. Just as the three were about to escape, they saw the figure of the red-dressed woman standing on the back of the big river crab flash, and then countless figures of the red-dressed woman appeared in the entire void. Some of those figures looked at them indifferently, some smiled at them gently, and some showed a pleading look. They slapped the female figures, and one palm could shatter hundreds or thousands of the shadows of the red-dressed woman, but after the palm wind passed, those broken shadows actually came together again, still smiling at them and begging them. Another 14th level. All of them stopped their movements immediately, not daring to move. Ying roar. Suddenly, the fat cat, who stood on the back of the river crab like a human, with his hands behind his back, roared like a dragon or a tiger. Accompanied by this roar, the souls of the three corpse kings in the distance all trembled, and their figures standing in the void were faintly frozen for a moment. Chirp chirp. The colorful spirit butterfly seized the opportunity and manipulated the branches of the colorful sacred tree to make them as tough as soft guns. After tightening, it seized the moment when the bodies of the three corpse kings were frozen and pierced through them fiercely. A bloody coffin suddenly appeared, the coffin lid opened, the corpse king was put into it, and then it was quickly closed, flashing at a very fast speed, breaking through the space and going away. Kaka kaka. After a tremor, the body of the bone saint exploded into countless bones and flew in all directions. On those bones, there was a faint appearance of it, which was obviously its unique way to save its life. However, compared with the corpse king and the bone saint, the ghost ancestor's reaction was half a beat slower. Especially after the corpse king and the bone saint escaped, the thousands of crystal branches shot out by the seven-colored divine tree all pierced through the ghost ancestor. Puff puff puff. The ghost ancestor had just reacted to the tiger roar and dragon roar of the fat cat, and before he could dodge, he was pierced through by a large number of branches. Ah! The ghost ancestor let out a shrill howl, and then his body exploded with a bang, turning into countless black smoke and escaping in all directions. It was obvious that it was not really dead yet, and still wanted to find a glimmer of life to escape. Huh! But suddenly a suction force came, and all the black smoke that the ghost ancestor's body turned into was swept by the suction force, flew towards the fat cat, and was swallowed by the fat cat. Hiccup. After swallowing the ghost ancestor, fat cat burped, and a fine black smoke blew out of his nose, and then there was no other movement. This is exactly its innate ability, swallowing dragons and devouring tigers. This ability was originally only able to devour dragon and tiger monsters, but as Fat Cat's cultivation broke through to the 14th level, he can use this talent to devour any life. Of course, when Fat Cat uses this talent, it will not restrain non-dragon and tiger monsters. 14th level strongmen are really hard to kill. In the river crab world, Chen Ronghuo felt the rolling breath of the law of calamity fed back from the heaven and earth, and a gleam of light was released in his eyes. Then he moved his mind and hurried to refine these breaths of the law of calamity. The river crab world had long been refined by the big river crab, so Chen Ronghuo was actually in the big river crab at this time, but he did not intend to take action now. For him, the top priority at this time was to break through to the 14th level as soon as possible. At this time, the colorful spirit butterfly and fat cat killed the ghost ancestor with one move, and also caused the corpse king and bone saint to flee with serious injuries, which immediately caused the pupils of the people such as Jiatuo Snake Mother who were fighting fiercely with Zhenkinzan and others to shrink slightly. As for the powerful people such as the ten-horned dragon who had rushed over from afar and planned to join the battlefield and kill Jiatuo Snake Mother and others together with Zhenkinzan and others, they all froze in place and stopped moving forward. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Chao Ji Dupang. Chapter 520. Boom. When everyone was shocked, the big river crab moved its body, revealing its true form in the void, and with a bang, it landed on the Evil God mountain range. Its dark and huge body seemed to be cast in steel, showing infinite power. And its two huge claws, one black and one white, were full of texture, attracting everyone's attention. Where did this river crab come from? River crab leader, could this really be related to Chen Ronghuo? Gong Yangtian, who came with the 10-horned dragon, had his pupils shrink after seeing the big river crab reveal its true form. In his heart, he thought of Chen Ronghuo again and his river crab leader. Many of Chen Ronghuo's subordinates had fought before, but they fought before Chen Ronghuo showed his strength comparable to these ancient strong men. After Chen Ronghuo's strength was revealed, they had been in seclusion under the mother tree of origin, so the strong men in the world of gods knew nothing about them. Waste. Ghost Ancestor was killed by Fat Cat, Corpse King, and Bone Saint used their means to escape, and the core of the black demon star hidden deep in the void suddenly emitted a shocking anger. This anger came from the gods. They originally thought that they would be able to save the three Corpse Kings by opening the seal of the Demon Realm Gate and releasing the Gatuo Snake Mother and others. When the Corpse Kings and Gatuo Snake Mother and others join forces, they will definitely be able to kill all of Chen Ronghuo's men. But they didn't expect that the three Corpse Kings chose to escape after being rescued. If the three Corpse Kings could escape, they wouldn't say anything, but the key is that in the end, 2 of the 3 were seriously injured and 1 died on the spot. The gods looked through the void and saw that the big river crab brought Fat Cat, Mo Licking, the colorful spirit butterfly, Zhenkinzan, and others together, and saw that the 10-horned dragon and others in the distance were about to arrive at the battlefield, and immediately reached a consensus on the next action plan. Boom! Suddenly, just when Daihexi and Zhenkinzan and others had just joined together and were about to have a good fight with Jiatuo Snake Mother and others, the void above them suddenly cracked into huge black holes, and a large amount of black gas surged out of the black holes. When the black gas fell, Jiatuo Snake Mother and others were immediately shocked, and a complex expression flashed across their faces, but the next moment, they still moved their minds and pulled a large amount of black gas over. As the black gas poured into their bodies, their power immediately rose to a higher level when they attacked. This black gas was the original power of the pure black magic star. Not only that, after some black magic star gates cracked, they actually moved quickly in the void and reached above Daihexi, Fat Cat, Zhenkinzan, and others, and then a large amount of colorful light surged out of these black magic star gates and fell towards Daihexi and Zhenkinzan and others. These colorful lights were the light of the gods. Through this light, the gods can change the rules of the world of gods, and at the same time, they can also change the attributes of life and turn all life into NPCs. Seeing the light of the gods falling, Zhenkinzan and others all changed their faces and had to distract themselves to use protective measures to resist the light of the gods outside their bodies. However, in this way, their battle with Jiatuo Snake Mother and others immediately fell into a disadvantage. At the same time, above the 10-horned dragon and others in the distance, the gate of the black magic star was also opened, and the light of the gods fell, forcing them to divide their minds to resist the light of the gods. Boom boom boom. There were continuous explosions in the void. The Lord of the Plague God and the Lord of the Poison God, 2 half-step pillar god level powerhouses joined forces to activate the plague and poison field, causing chaos in all directions, and actually showed strength that was no less than that of the pillar god level powerhouses. The 3 people, Tiangu God General, Demon Blood God General, and Chaos Soul God General, summoned a huge giant that reached the sky and the earth together. When this giant took action, his power was no less than that of the pillar god. At the same time, with the blessing of the original power of the Black Demon Star, the 4 masters of the Temple of Killing God, the Temple of Trapping God, the Temple of Punishing God, and the Temple of Absolute God set up a stunning sword formation, which also showed the powerful power of the Pillar God in person. In an instant, Zhenkinzan and others were like a small boat floating on the sea, accompanied by the rainstorm, and were in danger of being destroyed at any time. Damn it, they actually intervened. Seeing this scene, the 10-horned dragon and others in the distance did not hesitate anymore, and flew straight to the battlefield, joined Zhenkinzan and others, and joined the ranks of the 10 half-step pillar gods of the Black Demon Star. Everyone joined forces, and only then could they barely block the attack of Jiatuo Snake Mother and others, and fought with them in a stalemate. There are a total of 10 half-step pillar gods on the side of the Black Demon Star. On the side of Chen Ronghuo, not counting Changsun Zhengzin who did not take action, there are 11 half-step pillar god level combat power. If we add the 4 of the 10-horned dragon, the king of the 5 elements, the saint lord of Teishu, and the lord of the heavenly demon, it would be equivalent to 15. It was just because the gods intervened that even if they joined forces, they could not gain the upper hand and could only fight equally. In the river crab world, Chen Ronghuo sat in the secret room, slightly closed his eyes, and tried his best to refine the large amount of breath of the law of calamity that Fat Cat had just obtained by killing Ghost Ancestor. Of course, he would also divide a little of his mind to pay attention to the battle outside. And in the square outside his lord's mansion, Changsun Zhengzin seemed to be unmoved by the battle outside. He picked up the broom again and again, and put it down again and again, with a calm demeanor. Only occasionally when Mo Licking was attacked, he would raise his head, and at the same time tighten his hand holding the broom until Mo Licking was no longer in danger. Outside, a large number of lights of the gods fell. As the battle became fierce, the great river crab could no longer block them all. As a result, some of the lights of the gods remained in the great river crab's body, and some penetrated into the river crab's world. In the world of Hexian, Chen Ronghui's subordinates, except for Wu Piaoun and other cultivators who have cultivated to level 10 or above with the help of the original mother tree, other cultivators have been transformed into NPCs during the previous actions of the gods. In this regard, Chen Ronghuo just found out the NPC attributes of the people close to him. But he just let it go and ignored the other subordinates in the territory. At this time, as soon as the lights of the gods entered the world of Hexi, they immediately bypassed the residents who had been transformed into NPCs and went straight to the remaining free practitioners to approach. However, as soon as these lights of the gods approached, Changsun Zhengzin lifted up his broom and swept it away, forming a ball of colorful light that could never escape from his broom. Changsun Zhengzin's eyes were indifferent, as if these lights of the gods were just the dust he usually cleaned. Outside. The last time, Chen Ronghuo planned a large number of ancient evil objects, causing forbidden areas to appear in this huge mountain range originally named Xuanhuan Mountains. Coupled with the subsequent transformation of the 3 corpse kings, the danger in this place has skyrocketed. But at this time, with more than 20 combatants comparable to the half-step pillar god level, fighting here, the danger level of this place has skyrocketed again. Space cracks appeared one after another, abyss formed one after another, mountains burned into flames from time to time, and toxic fog spread for thousands of miles. However, because both sides were evenly matched, the battle lasted for 3 full days without a winner. In the past 3 days, other beings from the demon world came to the world of gods. Under the leadership of many warriors under the 10 half-step pillar god level demon level powerhouses, they spread out in all directions to attack cities and strongholds. It was quite easy to do so. Down some places. At the same time, many lives in the world of gods died in this war. Too slow. In the demon world, the Lord of the Black Devil was sitting alone in the main hall, with a ferocious look on his face. In the void above his head, a huge door to the Black Devil star was open, and the light of the gods was falling from inside, surging crazily into his body. Every time he uses his skills to expel some of the light of the gods from his body, new light of the gods will flow into his body. He knew that if he continued like this, it would take at least a few years to expel the light of the gods from his body. But after a few years, it was too late. You want to force me to take action, right? The Lord of Darkness murmured to himself, then stood up from his seat with a bang. What if I take action? As soon as he finished speaking, he stopped resisting and allowed countless lights of gods to pour into his body. Become stronger. An idea emerged from the mind of the Lord of Darkness. He wants to destroy the world of gods, and he wants to become stronger. Only by becoming stronger can he eliminate the countless lights of gods from his body. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 521. Boom. When the battle at the Evil God Mountain began to heat up, a huge hand carrying rolling black gas suddenly broke through the space, like an angry demon, grabbing with a bang. When the hand grabbed out, it expanded inch by inch, and the lines became clearer and clearer, like gullies and ravines. The space was exploded by the huge power of the hand, shattered into countless fragments of different sizes, and it was impossible to tell whether it was spreading fast or slow. At this time, the whole world became dark, as if the big hand covered the whole world, just like covering the sky and the sun. At the same time, hidden behind the big hand, you can also see a bigger and more terrifying figure. Lord of the Black Demon. The faces of the 10 horned dragons who had dealt with the Lord of the Black Demon changed instantly. Even when they saw the Lord of the Black Demon appear, their bodies were slightly stagnant. This is incredible for strong people of their level. A huge black demon stargate opened with the arrival of the Black Demon Lord from the demon realm. The rolling black demon star origin power rushed out of the gate and fell on the Black Demon Lord, making the breath he exuded even more terrifying, as if he was a demon king who destroyed the world. Although the attack of the Black Demon Lord enveloped the 10-horned dragon and others, as well as Zhenkinzan and others, the 10-horned 10 dragons could feel that the main target of the attack of the Black Demon Lord was them. After 3 days of fierce fighting, and having to resist the light of the gods sprinkled by the gods, the state of the 10-horned dragon and others was no longer at its peak. In addition, the timing of the Black Demon Lord's attack was just right. His palm was just in time when the Lord of the Killing God Temple, the Lord of the Trap God Temple, the Lord of the Execution God Temple, and the Lord of the Absolute God Temple set up a sword formation and slashed at the 4 people of the 10-horned dragon. Roar. The 10-horned dragon roared, stretched out his hands, and slowly pushed out a huge dragon phantom, rushing straight towards the palm of the Lord of Black Demon. The King of 5 Elements pinched a mysterious seal in his hand, knocked forward, and stimulated a mighty colorful light, like a colorful divine river, and also greeted the Lord of Black Demon. The Holy Lord of Teishu held a whisk in his hand, standing in the void calmly. When the whisk was swept, a large piece of clear divine light appeared, and he rushed towards the Lord of Black Demon. Woo woo woo. The Lord of Heavenly Demon shook his body, revealing a method similar to the previous magic ritual. In an instant, countless clones were transformed, and in various postures, they surrounded the Lord of Black Demon from all directions. But all this collapsed one after another when the 4 hall masters under the seat of the Lord of Black Demon and the incredible palm of the Lord of Black Demon fell. A huge black hole appeared where the 4 people of the 10-horned dragon were standing. The blood-colored sword energy that the 4 hall masters under the seat of the Lord of Darkness used to slash down with swords had been offset by the full-strength attacks of the 4 of them, but the palm of the Lord of Darkness came to them like a collapsing wall, with a crushing force. The 4 people of the 10-horned dragon stood in the empty void, helpless. They could only watch the attack of the Lord of Darkness getting closer and closer, and could only barely mobilize their own strength to protect themselves at the critical moment. Boom! With a loud bang, a huge dragon shadow covered in blood roared and rushed out of the explosion wave that could almost annihilate everything, rushing away. Then a dim 5-colored light and a scattered clear light also rushed out of the huge explosion wave one after another, rushing in different directions. Dragon shadow, 5 colors, clear light, obviously represent the 10-horned dragon, the Lord of the 5 elements, and the Holy Lord of Teishu. The Lord of the Dark Devil only struck once, and all 3 super-powerful men of the ancient times were severely injured and fled. Although 3 of them had been fighting for 3 days, and the 4 lords of the slaughter god temple helped them, and the gods were dragging their feet, but with this strike, we can still see how strong the Lord of the Dark Devil is. But this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that as the terrifying wave of the Lord of the Dark Devil's palm dissipated, the Lord of the Heavenly Demon, who was also a 14th level strongman, had disappeared. This obviously means that the Lord of the Heavenly Demon had died on the spot under the Lord of the Dark Devil's blow. After escaping the battlefield, the 10-horned dragon, the king of the 5 elements, and the Holy Lord of Taisha did not hesitate at all and fled quickly to the distance. Originally, after seeing the big river crab and the fat cat and others take action, they still had some confidence in their hearts, thinking that there was still a glimmer of hope to stop the Lord of the Dark Devil. But when the Lord of the Dark Demon attacked, severely wounded them with one blow, and killed the Lord of the Sky Demon, their confidence, like the tide of the sea, was repeatedly stirred several times, and completely fell. Buzz buzz buzz. The heaven and earth shook, and as the 3 people of the 10-horned dragon fled, the 3 gates of the dark demon star that opened in the void actually chased the 3 people directly, and sprinkled a lot of light of the gods in the portal, falling on the fleeing 10-horned dragon. The 3 people were seriously injured, and for a moment, they could not completely prevent the light of the gods from penetrating into their bodies. The Lord of the Dark Demon retracted his palm and looked at the 3 people of the 10-horned dragon who fled, his eyes flashed, and finally did not chase, but turned to look at Xuanhuan and his group. He was also surprised by the appearance of Xuanhuan and his group. I don't know when so many new faces appeared in the world of gods, and they are so strong. But although he was curious, his heart did not fluctuate too much. Those who stand in his way, just kill them. After killing Xuanhuan and his group, he would find a way to find out the truth. Boom. Thinking of this, the Lord of the Black Demon raised his hand, and his momentum began to rise again. After a moment, his momentum reached its peak. Xuanhuan and his party had been fighting with Jiatuo Snake Mother and others for such a long time, and both sides were really angry. Seeing that the Lord of the Black Demon was about to attack Kinzan and others, Jiatuo Snake Mother and others suddenly showed a playful look in their eyes. Just now, the Lord of the Black Demon attacked, and 3 of the 4 people of the 10-horned dragon escaped with serious injuries, and 1 died on the spot. What would happen if the Lord of the Black Demon attacked again at this time? Boom. The Lord of the Black Demon's palm fell, and the huge palm extended forward, covering the sky and the sun, as if wrapping up the entire world. At the same time, Jiatuo Snake Mother and others also cooperated with the Lord of the Black Demon, and launched their strongest attacks together, smashing them down fiercely. Xuanhuan, Huanglin, Wangchao, Dehexi, Fat Cat, and others all shrank their pupils, and did not dare to neglect. They cooperated with each other and used their strongest means. Even at this moment, they didn't even care about the light of the gods that was pouring into their bodies. Boom! An unprecedented huge vibration resounded throughout the world of gods. With one blow, the attacks of Jiatuo Snake Mother and others were all annihilated in an instant, and the formation set up by Chen Ronghuo with Xuanhuan as the center was also destroyed at the same time. Wait half an hour for the next chapter. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 522. After the huge vibration, the huge palm of the Lord of Darkness actually dispersed slightly, showing an unstable trend. You dare to hide your strength. After the attack, the faces of Jiatuo Snake Mother and others all changed. Through this attack, they suddenly discovered that Xuanhuan and others did not use their full strength when fighting with them before. It was not until the Lord of Darkness took action that Xuanhuan and others burst out their true strength. Xuanhuan and others did not answer Jiatuo Snake Mother and others. They looked at the Lord of Darkness, but saw that his huge palm was slightly dispersed, and then it shook lightly, and then it returned to its original state, and then continued to grab them. They all tightened their hearts. The strength of the Lord of Darkness is too strong. Although the power of the Lord of Darkness's big hand has weakened a lot after bearing their attack, if this attack falls on them, it can still severely injure them. Among the crowd, MaleProtagonist, whose figure had split into thousands, was especially frightened when she saw the palm of the Lord of the Dark Demon falling. She felt that the Lord of the Dark Demon's move was aimed at her. If this palm hit her, she would most likely be like the Lord of the Heavenly Demon just now. No matter how many clones she split into, she would die in an instant. Huh. Suddenly, a breeze came suddenly, bypassing MaleProtagonist and sweeping away all the haze in her heart. She smiled and watched the Lord of the Heavenly Demon fall with the palm, hitting her, and forming a huge suction force, sucking all her phantom clones into the palm, and then smashing them with one palm. Among the countless broken lights and shadows, MaleProtagonist's shadow flickered. At this time, she was still smiling, and all the shadows looked in the same direction, as if she had no feeling that she was smashed by the Lord of the Dark Demon. The Lord of the Dark Demon frowned and looked up in the direction of the big river crab in the distance. As he looked up, an old man holding a broom slowly walked out from in front of the big river crab. When the old man walked out, a breeze quietly formed, carrying a large piece of light and shadow formed by the countless phantom clones of MaleProtagonist after they were shattered, floating out from the palm of the Lord of the Dark Demon and coming to the old man. The breeze dissipated, the light and shadow gathered, and the figure of MaleProtagonist appeared again. She stood beside the old man, half turned her pretty face, looked at the old man, her face full of tenderness. Seeing this scene, the Lord of the Dark Demon hadn't said anything yet, but Jiatuo Snake Mother and others opened their mouths slightly and looked at Changsun Zhengzin in disbelief. Saving MaleProtagonist, who was almost doomed to die, from the hands of the Lord of the Dark Demon, this ability is a bit terrifying. The Lord of the Dark Devil felt the faint remnants of the Law of Wind between his fingers, and suddenly smiled and said, "I didn't expect that there is a person like you in the world of gods." Although they only fought for one move, the Lord of the Dark Devil could still sense that Changsun Zhengzin's strength, even if weaker than those pillar gods who could fight him, would not be much weaker. This is simply incredible for a 14th level cultivator. Changsun Zhengzin did not speak. He seemed to feel the gaze of MaleProtagonist beside him, and turned his head to look at MaleProtagonist, and then the two of them moved aside together. The Lord of the Dark Devil in the distance raised his eyebrows. Under his gaze, after Changsun Zhengzin moved away, a vortex suddenly appeared in front of the big river crab. At the moment the vortex took shape, a figure in a black and red robe suddenly walked out of it. This figure was obviously Chen Ronghuo. "It's you." Seeing Chen Ronghuo, the master of the god-killing temple, who had dealt with Chen Ronghuo before, had his pupils shrink. For her, it was a shame that Chen Ronghuo killed several of her men last time, but she failed to kill Chen Ronghuo. But at this moment, she saw Chen Ronghuo again, but she didn't know what adjective to use to describe her mood at this moment. After Chen Ronghuo came out, Zhen Qinzan and others, together with the old man who had just rescued MaleProtagonist from the Lord of the Black Demon, all retreated behind Chen Ronghuo. Based on this detail, it can be immediately known that this group of powerful cultivators are all Chen Ronghuo's men. It's really him. These people are really all his men. Gong Yangtian, who had long suspected Chen Ronghuo, immediately felt nervous when he saw Chen Ronghuo coming out. He had also come to the Evil God Mountain with the 10-horned dragon and others before. But after seeing Ghost Ancestor dead, Corpse King and Bone Saint all escaped with serious injuries, he left here quietly. He knew his own strength clearly. Although his 13th level cultivation was not bad, he would only die if he got involved in this war. Therefore, in the past few days, he was hunting the demon creatures that rushed from the demon world to the world of gods, while paying attention to this crucial battle on the Evil God Mountain. Lord of the Black Demon, 14th level, Black Demon Star Pillar God. Special talent, double body, has two bodies, one of which is 14th level and the other is a pillar god. The two bodies can be combined into one to gain stronger strength. Mastered laws: law of destruction, law of darkness, law of life, law of contract, law of soul. Secret skills: Great Black Demon Heavenly Skill, Great Demon Heavenly Hand, Black Demon Domain, Black Demon Contract. Secret Treasure: Black Demon Pearl, Damaged. Status: a large amount of light of the gods remains in the body, NPC transformation in progress. Chen Ronghuo raised his head and took in the well-known Lord of the Black Demon. After looking at the Lord of the Black Demon, he turned to look at the Mother Snake of Jiatuo and the Lord of the Temple of Slaughter. Mother Snake of Jiatuo, half-step pillar god of the Black Demon Star. Identity 1, God General under the Lord of the Black Demon. Identity 2, NPC. Control Law, Bloodline Law, Snake Law. Secret Skills: Snake God Technique, 10,000 Snakes Domain, 10,000 Snakes Devouring. After identifying the attributes of Mother Snake of Jiatuo and the other 9 half-step pillar gods under the Lord of the Black Demon, Chen Ronghuo raised his eyebrows slightly. He found that Mother Snake of Jiatuo and others had all become NPCs. Thinking of the 10 horned dragons who had just escaped with serious injuries and were infiltrated by a large amount of light of the gods, Chen Ronghuo felt heavy in his heart, knowing that in the entire world of the gods, the only ones who were changed by the light of the gods might be himself and his men. Even because of the battles in the past few days, some light of the gods had already invaded the bodies of Zhenqinzan and others. Fortunately, with the 20-fold time acceleration, he finally used the few days his subordinates had delayed for him to completely refine the breath of the law of calamity obtained from killing the ghost ancestor, and broke through to the 14th level in one fell swoop. Chen Ronghuo waved his hand, asked his subordinates to move to one side, and then slowly released his momentum. The Lord of the Black Demon is stronger than several pillar gods in the world of gods. And now, he wants to fight him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 523. The Lord of the Dark Devil swept his eyes over Chen Ronghuo, and then over Zhenqinzan and others. His face remained unchanged, but doubts arose in his heart. Although he was not a native strongman in the world of gods, when he invaded the world of gods with the Dark Devil Star, he thought he had recognized all the strongmen in the world of gods. But when he looked at Chen Ronghuo and Zhenqinzan and his party, he unexpectedly found that he didn't know any of them. Especially when he felt the gradually increasing momentum of Chen Ronghuo, which was getting stronger and stronger, and even close to him, he had already ranked Chen Ronghuo as a person of the same level as the pillar god level strongmen in the world of gods. Then he looked at Changsun Zhengzin who came out before Chen Ronghuo. He also felt a hint of threat from Changsun Zhengzin. Of course, compared with the threat brought to him by Chen Ronghuo, the threat brought to him by Changsun Zhengzin was undoubtedly much weaker. Thinking of this, the Lord of the Black Demon suddenly said, "I am the Lord of the Black Demon Star. May I ask your name?" Hexi Leader, Chen Ronghuo. Chen Ronghuo reported his name, but when he spoke, his aura became more and more profound, as if he was looking up at the vast sea of stars, which made people feel lonely. Chen Ronghuo, the Lord of the Black Demon, thought about Chen Ronghuo's name in his heart, and suddenly a smile appeared on his face. "You are very powerful, but you are not my opponent. How about you and I join forces to break this world together?" As he spoke, he looked up at the sky. His eyes seemed to see through the void, and he saw the Black Demon Star hidden in a huge alien space, as well as the powerful gods in the Black Demon Star. Break this world? Chen Ronghuo's mind moved slightly, knowing that the Lord of the Black Demon meant that he wanted him to join forces with him to break the peerless formation set up by the gods and fight against the gods who had been hiding behind the scenes. But he had already identified and calculated through ancient books that the peerless formation set up by the gods was not something he could break at the moment, even if his cultivation had broken through to the 14th level. Even if he brought his men and joined forces with the Lord of the Black Demon, it would be difficult to break this formation. After all, this formation was not set up by a single god or a few gods. It was set up by all the gods in the world of gods. At the same time, Chen Ronghuo also knew that the Lord of the Black Demon himself must be very clear about this matter. Because he had deduced the Lord of the Black Demon's purpose in the instant he came into contact with the Lord of the Black Demon, and knew that the Lord of the Black Demon's plan at this time was to destroy himself, his men, and everyone in the world of gods, so as to break through his current realm. The Lord of the Black Demon is now extremely powerful, and it is not an exaggeration to call him the number one in the world of gods. If his strength breaks through again, you can imagine how terrifying it will be. However, when Chen Ronghuo's eyes fell on the Lord of Darkness, his mind flashed, because his purpose was the same as the Lord of Darkness. He also wanted to eliminate the Lord of Darkness and all of his subordinates, and then break through to a higher level. That is, the realm of eternity. Thinking of this, Chen Ronghuo smiled faintly. Whether we are opponents or not, let's fight first. Before, Chen Ronghuo's subordinates fought with the Lord of Darkness's subordinates, and almost no words were said. Now, the few words between Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of Darkness are already considered many. At their level, verbal provocation is actually not very effective, and there is no need to test each other's purpose. Strength is supreme, and everything is resolved by force. As he spoke, Chen Ronghuo slowly opened his posture. This time, his body did not grow larger, but behind him, as his momentum was released, a terrifying figure with a face exactly like his, but with 9 heads and thousands of arms, gradually condensed. Chen Ronghuo's speed was very fast, but it felt extremely slow to people, as if time had become stagnant at this moment. Boom boom boom. The battle between Zhenkinzan and others and the group of Jiatuo Snake Mother was still going on. It was just because the Lord of the Black Demon and Chen Ronghuo both attacked, a group of people subconsciously moved away from this side, leaving an empty battlefield for the two. When Chen Ronghuo revealed his 9-headed 1,000-armed Dharma body, a furious and ferocious Dharma image gradually condensed behind the Lord of the Black Demon. This Dharma image had a ferocious face and was extremely huge. After appearing, it looked directly at Chen Ronghuo, with a faint power that could capture people's hearts. But more importantly, this Dharma image held a black longsword in its hand. The longsword shook slightly, and there was a faint dragon roar coming from it. When Chen Ronghuo looked over, the longsword suddenly turned into a dragon of destruction hidden in the abyss, waiting to come out and wreak havoc. Awesome! When Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Dark Devil were competing at the peak of their momentum, the Lord of the Dark Devil looked at the 9-headed, 1,000-armed Dharma image behind Chen Ronghuo and suddenly sighed. I cultivated 5 laws with my own strength, and I was proud of it, but I didn't expect that you actually cultivated 9 laws of power. The 9-headed, 1,000-armed Dharma image behind Chen Ronghuo was a powerful secret technique that he had created with the disaster clone that he had originally cultivated. Each head of this law he created represented the 9 laws of power that he controlled. The Lord of the Dark Devil had amazing eyesight and could see this at a glance. When he saw that Chen Ronghuo had mastered the power of 9 laws, even the Lord of the Black Demon was shocked. It was easy to master 1 law, and it was also possible to master 2 laws. It was very rare to master 3 laws, and it was even rarer to master 4 or 5 laws. Because the more laws you comprehend, the more difficult it would be to advance in the later stages due to mutual interference. In the world of the gods, there were strong men who comprehended 5 laws at the same time, just like the Lord of the Black Demon, but no one could achieve the same achievement as the Lord of the Black Demon. As for the Lord of the Black Demon, who comprehended 9 laws at the same time and reached Chen Ronghuo's level, it was the Lord of the Black Demon, and it was the first time he saw it. No matter how powerful you are not as strong as your dual body talent. Chen Ronghuo suddenly smiled lightly. What? Hearing Chen Ronghuo speak, even though the Lord of the Black Demon had a very good heart, he couldn't help but jump in his heart at this moment. Chen Ronghuo's words were really too shocking. Except for himself, he had never shown his dual body talent in front of outsiders. How did Chen Ronghuo know? Boom. Just as he had this thought, Chen Ronghuo sensed the state of the Lord of Darkness and seized the opportunity to punch him. The Lord of Darkness had invited him to join forces with him to fight against the gods, but it was a trap. And now, he revealed the Lord of Darkness's secret in one word, which was a way to get back at him. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 524. As Chen Ronghuo punched out, the 9-headed, 1,000-armed Dharma image behind him immediately raised his arms and fell down fiercely. Instantly, Chen Ronghuo felt that the Dharma image behind him had infinite power, blessing him. Boom! With a bang, Chen Ronghuo's fist broke through the space and appeared directly in front of the Lord of the Dark Devil. Seeing Chen Ronghuo's punch, the Lord of the Dark Devil raised his head, and the trace of fear that had just arisen in his heart disappeared without a trace. He pursed his lips and showed a sneer. The next moment, he also raised his hand, turned into a dark big hand, and slapped Chen Ronghuo's fist down. Bang! With a muffled sound, Chen Ronghuo's fist was slapped back, and even Chen Ronghuo himself couldn't help but step back a few steps in the void. I said you are not my opponent, and you are not my opponent. The Lord of the Dark Devil snorted coldly. At the same time, he moved his body, took another step, and stretched out a big hand, slapping down at Chen Ronghuo. The dark big hand was like a black cloud covering the sky and blocking all the light. Chen Ronghuo cultivated the 9 laws to the 14th level, and his foundation was profound. However, the 2 bodies of the Black Demon Lord merged into one, and one was at the 14th level and the other was at the Pillar God level. In addition, he mastered 5 laws, and his basic strength was even stronger than Chen Ronghuo. As for the martial arts secrets, although Chen Ronghuo had completely perfected the secret art of unity, the Black Demon Lord had practiced for countless years, and the martial arts secrets he practiced were only higher than Chen Ronghuo, not weaker than him. In terms of secret treasures, the Black Demon Lord's Black Demon Pearl was a Pillar God level secret treasure that could greatly enhance his strength. Fortunately, this secret treasure was still in a damaged state and had not been restored. Although the Black Demon Lord had many other secret treasures, the increase in his strength was limited. So in comparison, Chen Ronghuo did not suffer much in this regard. Boom boom boom. Chen Ronghuo fought with the Lord of Black Demon, constantly shattering the space. Chen Ronghuo felt the gap between himself and the Lord of Black Demon. After fighting with him for more than 100 times, he finally began to burn the power of faith. As he burned the power of faith, he stopped the powerful offensive of the Lord of Black Demon. It was only because the Lord of Black Demon could continuously draw the original power of the Black Demon Star from the gate of the Black Demon Star opened by the gods to bless himself that Chen Ronghuo was still slightly at a disadvantage when fighting the Lord of Black Demon even if he burned the power of faith. But fortunately, he could barely hold on at this time. Are you still not giving up? Seeing Chen Ronghuo start to burn the power of faith, the Lord of Black Demon sneered, "With your strength, I want to see how much power of faith you can burn." The way of faith is a unique way in the world of gods. The Lord of Black Demon is an invader from the Black Demon Star and does not understand the way of faith. Although he had thought about trying this path at first, before he could try, the gods joined forces, cut off half of the gods' continent, and sealed him up. However, the Lord of Black Demon knew that with Chen Ronghuo's realm, burning the power of faith to increase his body would consume unimaginable energy. Therefore, he believed that Chen Ronghuo would not be able to hold on for too long. I didn't expect that there would be such a strong man in our world. At this moment, all the strong men in the world of gods focused their attention on the Lord of Black Demon and Chen Ronghuo. However, what shocked them was not the Lord of Black Demon, but Chen Ronghuo. The power of the Lord of Black Demon is well known to everyone. And Chen Ronghuo, because he had made 2 consecutive moves in the North Sea before, was also known by the strong men in the world of gods. But until now, all the strong men knew that Chen Ronghuo had concealed his strength in his 2 consecutive moves. He even concealed not only his own strength, but also his power. One after another, eyes swept across the battlefield from a very far distance, swept across Chen Ronghuo, and swept across Zhen Qinzan and others. All of them seemed to still be in disbelief. Whether it was the Lord of the Black Demon or the 10 half-step pillar gods under the Lord of the Black Demon, they were all regarded as existences like floods and beasts by the strong men in the world of gods. But now, Chen Ronghuo could actually fight the Lord of the Black Demon to this extent, which was beyond everyone's expectations. Where did this person come from? At this moment, many gods hidden on the Black Demon star felt incredible. Even the Pillar of Light, the head of the 4 pillar gods, had a gloomy face after seeing Chen Ronghuo's strength. Boom boom boom. The battle between Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Black Demon became more and more intense, and gradually the 2 of them broke all the nearby space. The 2 rushed into the chaotic space alone and began to fight fiercely in the chaotic space. The chaotic space is full of dead silence and extremely unstable space. At the same time, it has another alias, which is outside the world. Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Dark Devil were fighting fiercely outside the world, and in an instant, they had no idea how many miles they had traveled. He looked down at his feet and saw a huge sphere made of endless spiritual energy and the power of laws. This huge sphere was the world of the gods. Boom. As soon as the 2 of them rushed into the chaotic space, the black hole that had been above the Lord of the Dark Devil appeared above his head, and at the same time, a large amount of the original power of the Dark Devil star, which was mixed with the light of the gods, was also infused into his body like a flood. The Lord of the Dark Devil had a gloomy face. As the battle was fierce, and as more and more light of the gods poured into his body, he could already feel that the light of the gods accumulated in his body was about to undergo a transformation. Once these lights of the gods undergo a transformation, it will be even more difficult for him to remove them in the future. Are you still not going to admit defeat? Since you don't admit defeat, then die at my hands. The Lord of the Black Demon had a ferocious look on his face, and the more powerful his moves became, the more fierce they became. He clawed out with his claws, and each claw seemed to kill Chen Ronghuo. However, Chen Ronghuo had the power of faith, so although he was defeated, he had no problem saving his life for a short time. Moreover, at his current level, although burning the power of faith was indeed extremely consuming, the power of faith in his hands was all the power of faith that had been purified to perfection by the black dog. Burning this kind of power of faith, 1 portion can be equivalent to 10 or 20 portions of a slightly worse one. Therefore, the Lord of the Black Demon can be said to have completely misjudged Chen Ronghuo's ability to fight for a long time. While Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Black Demon were fighting fiercely outside the world, in the world of the gods, Zhen Qinzan and others joined forces to fight against Jiatuo Snake Mother and others, and the battle became increasingly fierce. Originally, the Lord of the Heavenly Demon died, the 10-horned dragon, the primordial saint, and the king of the 5 elements were seriously injured and fled. The gods opened the door of the Black Demon Star and released the original power of the Black Demon Star to bless them. Zhen Qinzan and others should have been at a disadvantage. However, after the 10-horned dragon and others left, Zhen Qinzan and others made a decisive decision and no longer resisted the light of the gods that flowed into their bodies. With the addition of Changsun Zhengzin, Chen Ronghuo's men not only did not fall into a disadvantage, but also gained a slight advantage and began to counterattack. However, since the gods blessed the original power of the Black Demon Star, it was not easy for Zhenkinzan and his party to kill them. As the battle lasted longer and longer, the light of the gods filled Zhenkinzan and others' bodies more and more, making them all feel heavy in their hearts. Everyone looked up from time to time, looking through the void, wanting to see the result of the fierce battle between Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Black Demon. This time, the Lord of Black Demons and his subordinates were definitely the strongest enemies they had encountered since they followed Chen Ronghuo. Even though they were extremely confident in Chen Ronghuo, they were still uneasy after seeing Chen Ronghuo fighting with the Lord of Black Demons and falling behind. Outside the world, Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of Black Demons fought again and again, and the fight was hard to resolve. The Lord of Black Demons attacked extremely violently and fiercely, and Chen Ronghuo almost kept retreating under his pressure. However, every time the Lord of Black Demons tried to kill him, he could find a way to deal with it. Time is running out, I must use a killing move. The Lord of Black Demons' eyes flashed, and during the battle, he divided a little of his spirit every moment to feel the light of the gods in his body. Therefore, he knew that he could no longer waste time with Chen Ronghuo. Die! Boom! After blocking Chen Ronghuo's attack with one claw, the Lord of the Black Demon suddenly summoned countless illusory figures behind him. Those figures were soaring into the sky. Although each one was not as powerful as him, they were faintly arranged into a formation, which blessed him with a huge momentum. Dance of Demons. This is the strongest move of the Lord of the Black Demon. Like Chen Ronghuo, he also practiced the law of contract, and this move of Dance of Demons is based on the law of contract, summoning the phantoms of the powerful people he contracted to bless himself. He didn't use this move before because he wanted Chen Ronghuo to be careless, so that he could seize the opportunity at the critical moment and give Chen Ronghuo a fatal blow. Demon Contract. Chen Ronghuo saw that the Lord of the Black Demon suddenly used a new move, and his heart moved. He also began to use the law of contract, and instantly blessed himself with the power of the nine-headed demons, including the fat cat and the big river crab. Practitioners who practice the law of contract can mobilize the power of their contracted life. However, the specific amount of power that can be mobilized depends on the way of cultivation. Although the Lord of the Dark Demon cultivated the law of contract, he did not contract his own demons, but used the law of contract to contract his subordinates on a large scale. The mother of the snake, the god of heaven, the lord of the temple of slaughter, these half-step pillar gods under his command all have the contract marks left by him in the depths of their souls. In addition, the contract marks he issued were as many as tens of thousands. Almost all the souls of the strong men above the 10th level under his command had the contract marks left by him. Of course, his large-scale release of contract marks would make the effect of contract marks much smaller. The power he could mobilize from each person would also be very small. However, once the power of everyone was added up, the amplification effect on him would be quite considerable. On the other hand, Chen Ronghuo took the elite route. The contract marks he issued were very few. Among them, the contract with demons was the main one, and at the same time, his self-created secret technique Demon Contract could only mobilize the power of a few demons, including Fat Cat, that he had contracted. But in comparison, the power he mobilized from Fat Cat and the others was undoubtedly much greater than the power that the Lord of Darkness mobilized from each contracted life. Boom! A loud noise was heard in the void, and after a blow, Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of Darkness both retreated violently. This blow still said that the Lord of Darkness had a slight advantage. But his idea of taking down Chen Ronghuo ended in failure again. Staring at Chen Ronghuo, the Lord of Darkness's face was extremely ugly. He didn't use his killer move Dance of Demons in the morning, thinking of paralyzing Chen Ronghuo first, and then delivering a fatal blow to Chen Ronghuo at the critical moment. However, he didn't know that Chen Ronghuo, who had the ancient book, knew all his abilities from the beginning, so how could he not take precautions? You are good. The Lord of the Black Demon suddenly showed an extremely crazy look in his eyes after failing to kill Chen Ronghuo with one blow. Because after this blow, he immediately felt that the many lights of the gods accumulated in his body, after reaching the limit, finally caused a qualitative change, and it was humming. Lord of the Black Demon. Identity, NPC. Note, all NPCs have self-awareness, but when the rules of the world change, they must abide by the rules of the world. Chen Ronghuo felt the strangeness of the Lord of the Black Demon, and his eyes swept over his body, and he immediately knew what happened. After a long time of entanglement with him, the Lord of the Black Demon could not expel the light of the gods in his body, and finally couldn't hold on, and was changed into an NPC by the light of the gods. Suddenly, at this moment, as the Lord of the Darkness became an NPC, the huge black hole above his head suddenly turned and reached the top of Chen Ronghuo's head. At the same time, a large amount of colorful light of the gods also surged out of the black hole and poured into Chen Ronghuo's body. This time, only the light of the gods was poured into Chen Ronghuo's body, without the original power of the darkness star. Obviously, this was because the gods immediately turned their attention to Chen Ronghuo after seeing the Lord of the Darkness complete the transformation. Feeling a large amount of light of the gods rushing into his body, Chen Ronghuo's heart moved, but he did not stop it. Once he divided his strength to block it, he would undoubtedly be completely at a disadvantage in the battle against the Lord of the Darkness. Boom boom boom. Chen Ronghuo and the Lord of the Darkness fought fiercely again. But this time, because the Lord of the Darkness lost the original power of the darkness star blessed by the gods, Chen Ronghuo could still burn the power of faith, so the two were evenly matched when they fought. During the fight, Chen Ronghuo repeatedly hit the Lord of Black Demon with his left hand to extract attributes from him, intending to take down the Lord of Black Demon in one fell swoop at the critical moment. But the Lord of Black Demon was too strong. He used his left hand ability several times to extract an important attribute from the Lord of Black Demon. Even if they had to fight countless times every second, the attributes that Chen Ronghuo extracted from the Lord of Black Demon would not be able to hurt the Lord of Black Demon in a short period of time. Of course, because he was worried about attracting the Lord's attention, the attributes he extracted from the Lord of Black Demon would be integrated into his body again when he attacked next time. In a flash, Chen Ronghuo was outside the world and fought with the Lord of Black Demon for several days. At this time, he had not accumulated much faith power. At the same time, the continuous infusion of the light of the gods for several days also made the light of the gods accumulated in his body reach a considerable level. Because he had to fight the Lord of the Black Demon all the time, he also used his left hand to touch the light of the gods in his body. Buzz buzz buzz. At the same time, in the world of gods, the seriously injured ten-horned dragon, the Holy Lord of the Beginning, and the King of the Five Elements, after being baptized by the light of the gods for several days, finally couldn't hold on and were all transformed into NPCs. After the three were transformed into NPCs, the Black Demon Stargate above their heads immediately closed. But then, the Black Demon Stargate in the sky above the heads of Zhenkinzan and his group who were still fighting near the Evil God Mountain, the light of the gods that emerged towards Zhenkinzan and others began to increase significantly. Feeling this change, Zhenkinzan and others' faces all changed. After several days of fierce fighting, the light of the gods accumulated in their bodies was close to saturation. At this time, how could they not be surprised when there was a lot of light of the gods coming towards them? Even Chang Sun Zhengzin, the strongest among the group, felt that the light of the gods in his body was about to overflow. But they were all powerless to do anything about it. Finally, after several hours, the light of the gods accumulated in the bodies of Zhenkinzan and his group began to change from quantitative change to qualitative change, and they were all transformed into NPCs. As everyone was transformed into NPCs, the gates of the black magic star above their head suddenly closed. Boom! Outside the world, just after Zhenkinzan and his group were all transformed into NPCs, the huge black hole above Chen Ronghuo's head suddenly became more than doubled in size, and the light of the gods pouring out of it increased greatly. Chen Ronghuo felt the changes in his body, his eyes narrowed, and then he looked at the Lord of the Black Magic who had been fighting with him for several days. His body shook slightly, and he once again performed the secret technique of magic contract, mobilizing the power of a group of spiritual pets such as Fat Cat and Big River Crab, and blessed himself. Demonic transformation, demonic calamity, demonic spell, demonic soul, demonic flame, the power of the demon. At the same time, he combined all the secret techniques he could use in an instant. Boom! With a loud noise, he stretched out a claw, which was as huge as a huge mountain, burning with blazing black and red flames, and grabbed the Lord of the Dark Demon. On his palm, there was an extremely strange eyeball flashing. Is the power of faith not enough? Just seeing Chen Ronghuo's actions, the Lord of the Dark Devil was not surprised but happy. His body shook, and at the same time, he showed his strongest state. When he stretched out a claw, two identical people appeared on his body at the same time, staring at Chen Ronghuo. He knew that the reason why Chen Ronghuo was so anxious must be that Chen Ronghuo's accumulated faith power was insufficient. Seal! 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 Chen Ronghuo's eyes were cold. Seeing the Lord of the Dark Devil coming fiercely, he finally began to use his strongest killer. He waited for so long, firstly, waiting for the Lord of the Dark Devil to be paralyzed, thinking that his strength was just like that and there was no stronger killer, and secondly, waiting for the gods to withdraw the power of the origin of the Dark Devil star that blessed the Lord of the Dark Devil. And now, he has waited for both. Chen Ronghuo uttered the word seal 9 times in a row, using the 9 sealed spaces of the ancient book to seal part of the Dark Lord's physical strength, soul power, defense ability, the 5 laws of power he cultivated, and the power of the Dark Lord's bead hanging above his head during the battle. As Chen Ronghuo used this killer move, the Dark Lord immediately felt unprecedented weakness. His pupils were locked tightly, and a strong sense of disbelief was revealed in his eyes. Boom! But at this time, Chen Ronghuo had already blessed himself with all the power of the Dark Lord that he had sealed. After these powers were blessed on him, his strength had reached an incredible level. At the same time, in the chaotic void, as Chen Ronghuo's outstretched claws touched the Dark Lord's claws, Chen Ronghuo's mind moved, and he immediately used his second killer move. That is to say, all the attributes that he had touched from the Dark Lord were instantly taken back to his own attribute space. After Chen Ronghuo used his second killer, the eyes of the Lord of the Dark Devil, which originally had a glimmer of hope, changed drastically. As the Lord of the Dark Devil star, he had lived for who knows how many years, and invaded the world of gods again, killing people in the world of gods, becoming the nightmare of countless people, and even causing the world of gods to decay in advance. But at this moment, he looked at Chen Ronghuo in front of him, and a trace of fear arose in his heart for no reason. He didn't know how such a strong man could appear in the world of gods. He didn't know where Chen Ronghuo came from. He didn't know how Chen Ronghuo, who was not as strong as himself before, could use such a killer all of a sudden. Rumble. The huge vibration sound spread outside the world, and even spread into the world of gods, and it lasted for a long time. Under the claws of Chen Ronghuo burning with blazing flames, the body of the Lord of the Dark Devil, who was invincible in the eyes of countless people, began to collapse inch by inch. Even after the Black Demon Lord's body collapsed, Chen Ronghuo's palm was actually unstoppable, carrying an unstoppable momentum, and with a bang, it broke through the space and came to a huge alien space. In this huge alien space, there is an extremely huge black planet. This black planet is the Black Demon Star. The surface of the black demon star is covered with a layer of purple gold light, like the manifestation of a peerless formation. And inside the black demon star, you can faintly see the shadows of gods with deep and immeasurable auras. The shadows of 4 of the gods, at a glance, will give people a feeling of immortality and overwhelming the heavens. You dare. Just as Chen Ronghuo's big hand reached out and appeared in this alien space, the gods inside the black demon star suddenly shouted loudly. Countless terrifying voices gathered together, forming a powerful force, swinging towards Chen Ronghuo's big hand. Boom! With just a push of Chen Ronghuo's hand, this huge force turned into ripples and dissipated. Crack, crack, crack. Then Chen Ronghuo's hand moved again and pressed on the purple gold peerless formation. To be continued.